get back to some Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies. Still have one more case to work on. Now, before we get started, there's one thing I should mention. I might have mentioned this when I was playing Rocket League, but it's going to be important. Starting next week, I am most likely not going to be doing a lot of gaming, if any. I'm pretty sure I already mentioned why. If I do get a chance to do some gaming, I might actually continue with most likely either Rocket League, or I might even get down to some if I don't play Rocket League, I might actually play either the last Phoenix Wright game, which is Spirit of Justice, or I might actually end up playing some Tactics Circle Reborn. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Here we go. Turnabout for Tomorrow. Here we go. Case number 5, episode for tomorrow. No one can escape their past. Whoa! The sins we've committed and the sadness we've caused. No matter how far we run, our past remain as ever present. It looms in wait for the day when we are forced to face it. But only in doing so can we truly make peace and move on in hope towards tomorrow. This is the last case of Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies, everyone. And I have a feeling this is going to be not only a very disgusting one, but also a very long one as well. You think the one I actually did with that monstrous case was long? You haven't seen anything yet. Now, one more thing I should mention. Out of all the games that are in the Phoenix Wright series, which are 5 of them, by the way, this is the only one that was actually ruled M for mature. And I think you can figure out why. They took Athena from the courtroom straight to the station. She's probably being questioned at this very moment. after this past year, I took it for granted that those two would always be here. But now, Apollo has gone off on his own to seek his own truth. And my pursuit of the truth only ended up with Athena becoming the new suspect. So boss I turned out to be. Yeah. Seems so empty too. And I still believe it was, at least based on what we know. During the trial for the bombing and murder that occurred at the Cosmos Space Center, the lighter used by the real culprit was found. This lighter proved the defendant Solomon Starbuck innocent. But Athena's prints were found on it instead. And she was subsequently arrested for the murder. Don't forget, okay, time for a quick little recap, just in case everyone forgot what happened during the last case. We had actually found out that it was actually a murder case inside the Cosmos Space Center, and that Solomon Starbuck was the one who was accused of it, of the murder. He was accused of murdering actually murdering a fellow astronaut of his. They actually blamed it on his anxiety. And taking anxiety pills. There was also a bombing that also took place as for the issue with the lighter, I'm thinking somebody planted Athena's prints on that lighter. So what's also interesting is that we also never found out who the killer was in that case. One moment, please, everyone. Alright, sorry about that, everyone. Athena couldn't have done it. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, as I was saying with the recap, we still have not been able to figure out who the killer was of the other astronaut. One moment, please, everyone. The fuck was that? Pretend to be Medicare or Medicaid? You should report them. Good. Sorry about that, everyone. Been getting these ridiculous bullshit calls. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Anyway, as I was saying, the astronaut's murder was still at the guy whoever killed him was not yet found. I have a feeling, I have a guess. I can guess who it was, but I might be wrong on that one. No, none of it does. I've been racking my brain, but I just can't figure it out. Where is the flaw in my reasoning? What have I done? What have I got wrong in this case? Yes. Trucy's right. The trial is tomorrow. There's no time to waste. If I'm gonna prove Athena's innocence, I better get out there and find some evidence. Before we go, I better try to evidence I have on hand. Unnecessary evidence left at the office. Alright. Athena is probably still in the middle of being questioned. So Trucy's right. The thing to start with is talking to people at the Space Center. One moment, everyone. Alright, here we go. Heading to the Space Center. Director Cosmos, do you have a moment? Director. Yeah, well, I dragged his name through the mud pretty good at the trial earlier today. Something doesn't fit. Heading to the boarding lounge. They were saying that this is where the murder took place. We were here only yesterday. Mr. Starbuck, you've been released? strong. Thought I'd be happy to be acquitted. So coming out of the detention center. He saw Athena? Yeah, that sounds like Athena. I can just picture it. Indeed, they are trucy. Well, that's exactly what I intend to do. I definitely think somebody framed her. Don't worry, Mr. Starbuck. I'm gonna give her the very best defense I can. I promise to get her acquitted, just like I did for you. Indeed. Still can't believe that Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. What could have made Earth or Cosmos do such a thing? I have the foggiest idea. With him also leaving like that, without saying it, not saying a word, that sounds pretty suspicious to me. So there never was going to be a launch that day, not from the very beginning. I wonder if Koi knew. I imagine he must have. Surely would have noticed when you went to board the rocket. With less than space debris, huh? He'll be fine there, Trissy. That's just how he is. Mr. Starbuck, do you remember anything about the murderer? Shadowy figure in the dark, after all. Yeah, I guess that was a little too much to hope for. Whoa! They never did find a 10 caliber gun down that trash chute. Either it's somewhere in the Space Center, somewhere else, or the murderer took it with them. I'm thinking the murderer took it with them. Just as I thought. The culprit must have carried it away with them when they escaped. So was the person you saw holding a gun, Mr. Starbuck? It wasn't Athena, right? You tell if the person was male or female, tall or short? When the culprit opened the door and some light came in, I should have been able to see. The door. That one right there. As I recall, they opened this door here as they made their escape. The door to Launchpad 1, right? Except right now, the door leads to the Space Museum. I mean, the Launchpad and the Space Museum are switched right now? Trying to investigate the theory he came up with in court. So they're recreating the conditions, huh? I'd like to see what's behind that door, what's beyond that door now. Mr. Starbuck, can you open that door for us, please? Do the launch pads get switched back and forth a lot? Back when the Space Museum was launch pad 2, they used to switch the pads around at times. But these days, launch pad 2 is only used as a tourist attraction, right? Right. Because quite frankly, the Space Center needs some... That's what the director of the Space Center stated. The budget cuts. Hey, time sure it's tough. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Wait a sec. I see something. What's that? Dead leaves. True. She's right. It's a modern state-of-the-art building, but it's surrounded by trees. I don't know. If they were stuck to the bottom of someone's shoes, wouldn't they look more crushed up? These don't look like they've been stepped on. Not everything is set up like a magician's stage, you know. Let's see. So this is another one of those devices for opening the door, huh? This one doesn't require fingerprints verification. So when you and Clay were through here, you didn't need to show your prints either. That's right, Trissy. Just like how the culprit didn't need to scan the prints when they escaped back out of the Space Museum's corridor into boarding lounge 2. biometric door lock. Print authentication isn't required from the launchpad site. I don't see anything else that jumps out at me. But I imagine this corridor is built exactly like the Launchpad 1 corridor. Let's take a look. One moment, everyone. Just checking something. Something important. All right. Sorry about that, everyone. Heading back to the entrance. Let's see. Director Cosmos. Cursor Retro sold my good name. Reverse course of... Director Cosmos, wait. Tracy's knife throw was a direct hit to one of his tires. Maybe I should have kept a closer watch on what tricks she's been practicing. I bet all that button will do is make it go haywire again. Director Cosmos, when you were talking in court about switching the launch pads, you used your right to remain silent about the reason as to why. Someone is causing him to actually stay silent. Something's not right. Center of the Cosmos enshrouded in mystery, but I don't have any secrets left. I disagree. If he doesn't have any secrets left, why is he refusing to speak? I thought so. No secrets left, huh? I beg to differ. Looks like I have to undo his Cyclox if I want to get to the bottom of this. Something's definitely not right. He's definitely hiding something. And I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. It's the last thing I do.
Take that!
Behind the switching of the launch pads. Director Cosmos, I want you to tell me everything you're hiding about the switching of the two launch pads. I hope I never get like this when I'm old. Now let's see where to start. Save the astronauts. Something is not right. Thanks to switching the launch pads, the astronauts escaped injury from the blast. Instead, they safely boarded the museum's rocket far away from the actual explosion. And he proposed I had them board a fake rocket without them noticing. I agree you couldn't have done it without help. For one, they would have figured out the instant they stepped into the Space Museum. You figured you could fool Mr. Starbuck once he'd been drugged with his medication. But without the help of this person, it would have been impossible to pull your plan off.
Take that!
You must have gotten Clay to help you out. He stole the tranquilizers from his mentor's locket and slipped them to him. And then, with Mr. Starbuck in a daze, they boarded the replica rocket in the museum. If you really wanted to save the astronauts' lives, shouldn't you have just called off the launch? I guess you must have a compelling reason why you didn't call it off. But how did you know to switch the pads in advance of the bombing incident? Warned in advance? Oh, I'd like to know what the hell that is about. And who warned him. But it was just a warning. It could have even been just a prank. Why do you believe in this so completely? What? Oh, I didn't realize channeling was back in vogue. Besides, I thought it was you yourself that got the warning via telephone. What? AKA a regular old telephone. It's been a while. Planning another launch? I see you haven't learned. The bomber said it's been a while. And that was enough to make you take the threat seriously? Perhaps Director Cosmos took the threat so seriously because the Space Center had been involved in a bombing once before. Maybe. The culprit in the current case is the same person who was involved in this incident. The HAT-1 miracle? The HAT-1 miracle? That epic story of survival? People across the nation know it now as a heroic tale of bravery. But in truth, it was an act of sabotage perpetrated by our current killer, wasn't it? Very few knew about the previous plot, so when the killer said it's been a while, you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the danger was real and it was not a prank. A desperate battle against an act of sabotage. I even lost the life of one of my staff members in the fight. Whoa! Sabotage, murder. So this is the ugly truth behind the HAT-1 miracle. Thought the saboteur had been caught and that the case was closed. What? Wait a minute. The murder at the Space Center 7 years ago? It's supposed to be the person Director Cosmos thought was the culprit. Oh. Oh. It can't be. It can't be. I thought so.
Take that!
Simon Blackwell, the murder suspect in a case that happened here 7 years ago. The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the exact same. So you thought that he committed both crimes. But while Prosecutor Blackwell was behind bars, you got another threatening call. If the culprit this time was the same as 7 years ago, then it was not Simon Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken. It meant that the true culprit's been running free all this time. The reason why Director Cosmos won't talk about why he switched the launch pads is connected to the truth behind the HAT-1 miracle. The sabotage and murder that happened at the Space Center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding, now! If everyone understand the reason why I decided to switch the launch pads. Well, to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago. 7 years ago. You mean the so-called HAT-1 miracle? Sorry about that. The launch went smoothly, but once the ship entered outer space, then the troubles began. It was all the handiwork of a certain person and their evil scheme. So Mr. Starbuck's traumatic experience wasn't accidental. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. All that, in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle a withered old leaf through those checkpoints. Wait a minute! Like the dead leaves we found in the corridor? So do you have any clue as to who was responsible for the sabotage? At the very least, I know it was not Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what the person was. Put it simply, a spy. What? Exactly. I guess if we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research material, it's not all that surprising that a spy could be all behind it. Could be behind it all. Make no mistake, there's cutthroat rivalries between nations in the space R&D race, which is actually very true in real life, believe it or not. So don't try to outdo others by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago, we got a call from the launch warning us of sabotage. The CMMO at this time. Modus operandi. That's what the MO stands for. If anyone needs to know. Yes. And here I thought the perpetrator had been caught. It looks like I was wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy. That is very true. Real life ninjas did actually commit sabotage and actually were spies. Why do people actually think that ninjas actually committed assassinations? That is partially true, but they mainly they were actually spies and actually committed sabotage. It's a good reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover up by the government. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit that they had allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy. Until they made the police rush the investigation. They did indeed. And then to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up their story. And that was the HAT miracle, wasn't it? But then, 7 years later, the same MO, advanced warning of sabotage. That must have been the director's reason for switching the launch pads. 7 years ago, the spy gave you advance warning of their plans, just like this time. That was what made you decide to switch the launch pads, wasn't it? That's right. The caller knew the facts of the case 7 years ago despite the cover-up. They knew about the sabotage, the moon rock, the murder, and they said, you don't want things to go like this, as they did 7 years ago, do you? I immediately thought of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honor. Maybe if you're easily inspired by political talking points. I need the truth. We had been warned, which meant that danger was very real. I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, it would find a way. That's why I switched the launch pads and staged the moving rescue scene. First, I snuck into the center the night before and switched the launch pads. That way the astronauts would go from boarding lounge 1 to the Space Museum. Then I put a closed for repair sign at the door for Launchpad 1 into boarding lounge 2. You did that so no visitors couldn't enter, right? What else did you do? I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Taryn. But you didn't let Mr. Starbuck in on it, did you? You've already been through enough, and it's no good at lying to keep a secret. I'm afraid I had no choice but to have him drugged. The plan went well, too. Clay's murder, huh? After the culprit made their escape, I switched the launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out. But after all that effort, Taryn is dead, and the HA2 miracle is destroyed. And the Hope capsule, which had returned to us only recently, was also lost in the blast. Center of the cosmos. Beautiful cosmos space center is done for. Wait a minute. What do you mean by the Hope capsule was lost in the blast? I thought that the Hope capsule was found at the crime scene with Mr. Taryn. It had just been brought back by the Hope space probe with asteroid samples inside. The capsule was being held in a safe in Launchpad 1. I gave it to Taryn before the incident so it wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. The idea was that, with it safely in Taryn's possession, he could make it look like he rescued it during the stage miraculous escape. But our precious research materials ended up lost explosion anyway. I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe. Misunderstand. The launch pad explosion wasn't the one that the capsule was lost to. It was lost because the police could... Whoa! They confiscated as evidence. It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there at... Hope capsule. Found in the victim's possession. Recently returned from the 7-year mission and contains asteroid samples. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was pulled to smithereens. Yet another casualty of that blast. Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about the switching of the launch pads. How? Police found a wiretapping device during their investigation. What? A wiretapping? Just the few select members who knew about the plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of Launchpad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amid the confusion. Planned the bomb then? Yes, if they were tapping your phone, they definitely could have pulled off something like that. So you think the same spy is behind this incident and the one 7 years ago? This spy must be the Phantom Prosecutor Blackwell has been chasing. One moment, everyone. Can I work on my live streaming in peace, for Christ's sake? Sorry about that, everyone. Anyway, let's continue, shall we? Prosecutor Blackwell told me once, the hunt I've been on for the Phantom of 7 years past continues even still. For starters, that case happened right here at this very space center, too. So we can find this Phantom. That's right. We can clear Athena's name. And then, does that matter of Prosecutor Blackwell, too? Well, if the culprit of 7 years ago is the same person as in the current incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. That's still an if, though. Of course, I don't think it's a real ghost. I would see it. Well, at least you'll be in good company. There must be planets out there you can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into that HAT one mission too. I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go visit the Space Museum. Indeed. Let's take a look. right over there. There. That's the HAT1 exhibit. There's Clay and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, Aura Blackwell, and even Ponko. Aura Blackwell, by the way, is Simon Blackwell's older sister. Oh my God. Never seen the woman on the right before. Everyone, that woman on the far right is Athena's mother. Let's check out the newspaper article too. HAT1 launch imminent. And there's a photo of the Hope space probe. I guess it's only natural it doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage. They really were keeping it a secret, just like the director said. Must be the HAT1 team's uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing, the one that belonged to Clay. Actual jacket worn by HAT1 team member, it says. Not a replica, huh? Wonder if it was Mr. Starbucks. HAT1 exhibit added to the court record. A newspaper clipping, a photo of the people involved in the launch, and a jacket one of them wore. Juniper? What brings you here, Miss Woods? Must be so worried. Rest assured, I'm going to do my very best to defend her. You mean the Cosmos Space Center? Yeah. She used to live here when she was a little girl. I didn't know. No wonder she knew so much. Miss Woods, can you tell me more in detail? If I remember right, she was a doctor of psychology or something like that. Why would a psychology specialist be working at a space research facility? I do know she lived and worked here, so Athena lived here too. So it was far from Athena's first time here. I wonder why she didn't mention it. I don't want to talk about it. This place is connected to a very sad memory for her. And it begins, everyone. terrible incident here 7 years ago. Same time frame as the HAT-1 launch. So, in the robotics lab. That's in the up the 4th floor. What? After it happened, Athena stopped coming to school. Poor Athena. All this time, she never let it on at all. After a while, we started exchanging letters. I didn't get to see her face to face for 7 long years. So the first time you saw her in 7 years, it was during Professor Court's case? She's a completely different person, so cheerful and happy. What was Athena like as a child? She was very sensitive and kind. She didn't talk that much. She liked to draw and paint at home. It's completely different from the Athena we know now. I can't even picture it. She never left the Space Center much because she was very sensitive to other people's emotions. When she went to crowded places, she'd get dizzy from all the emotions flying around. It must be hard to hear people's hearts as well as their voices. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research. We know what kind of research it was. Because of her special ability, Athena couldn't handle being in school very often. I was out sick because of my weakened constitution. And that's why we became such good friends. We play together here at the Space Center a lot. Brings back memories. Sounds like Athena's mother played a big role here at the Space Center. Miss Woods, can you take a look at this photograph for me? I thought so. That is Athena's mother. Dr. Menace Sykes. Athena's mother's murder. Did it by any chance have any connection to the HAT-1 launch? Happened the very day before the launch. Just as I suspected. There you go. That's why Director Cosmos refused to speak. So this is a murder Detective Director Cosmos was talking about. Does that mean that the crime Prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? The chance her death is somehow connected to this current case. Thank you for your help, Miss Woods, and please try not to worry. I won't let anything happen to Athena. So we need to investigate the robotics lab and also talk to Athena. Indeed, there, Trucy. The detention center first, then. We have to see Athena before visiting hours are over. Detective Fulbright, greetings. Greetings, Detective Fulbright. You're on business? Tetonate. The one behind the courtroom bombing incident? Ready to tell the truth about that case. What he was saying was so incredible that he just said to come right over to hear more. What was he saying? Really? Us? You sure? No. I gotta waste my breath on you. After all, you're the one who assaulted Apollo and put him in the hospital. No violence. Too bad Apollo didn't get a chance to say that before you attacked him. Fine, then just answer me this, Mr. Tony. What is this truth of yours about the courtroom you blew up? Another person in the room? What are you talking about? Who else could have there been? Saw someone's hand as they were stealing the remote switch, the detonator. This person was there and witnessed the murder committed. What? As you blew up the court. You expect us to buy that? Careful there, Trucy. I don't see any Psycho-Ox, so I guess you must not be lying. They've laid it out. They laid it all out piece by piece. What? Looks like its geek switch has been activated. phony Fanti bomb. It was found in the boarding lounge 1 and detonated in courtroom number 4. Fragments have been analyzed. Are being analyzed, I should say. Let's see. You're gonna see Athena now? Bad timing. So I go out to wait until her questioning is over to see her. Alright. So this is a robotics lab, huh? Looks like it's exactly 1 floor above the boarding lounge. And when people were directed to evacuate from via the emergency ladder. This is where Athena's mother was killed 7 years ago. Speaking as someone who works with robots... Apollo? What the? They plan to use this bed to carry the capsule, is that right? Apollo and or a Black Quill. I wonder what they're talking about. I respect his wishes. We just came to investigate this lab. Maybe me a director. Yes, I did. Suddenly Starbuck was out. Their little subordinate princess was in. Got that right. And I need to know what the hell you're gonna try to do about it. Athena. Of course, Athena is innocent. Suspicious? How so? That's what I like to know. Emotionally unstable princesses. No, I do not. I can't believe it. Does Apollo really suspect Athena? robots that can see ghosts, you're right. And I'm a spirit medium. Sorry, but apparently scientists just don't tell very frightening ghost stories. I intend to defend Athena no matter what the hell you have to say about it. Blind belief? I think not. Did you tell me about that incident 7 years ago? No. What I intend to do is find the damn truth. Paul knows about that case too? Yeesh. Better watch what you say if you don't want to get recycled, Conco. Sykes. Oh, it's robots with hearts? Can you even make such a thing? Two navigation companies created by Miss Orrin and Dr. Metis transcend humans. Metis. Just glance over at her desk. Nobody could continue Metis' research. She and her work were truly one of a kind. And now the two navigation companies are all that are left of Metis here on Earth. The robots are all that's left? Isn't she leaving out a very important someone? I get the feeling Dr. Sykes loved her robots almost as much as she loved her daughter. And almost as much as she loved you. Dr. Blackquill. Conco is an important keepsake of your time with Dr. Sykes. You should treat him better. What do you mean by that? The program Metis runs on a separate mainframe. Their bodies are controlled remotely from there. Their hearts and memories are there too. Their bodies are really just peripherals. I'm not so sure that gives you the right to physically abuse the poor things. Well, we believe the culprit of that incident might be the same person as in this case. Yes. Yes, Prosecutor Blackwell, or so it seems. Quaint way of putting it. You're implying you don't think he did it? I can't say anything for sure right now. That's exactly why I'd like to hear your side of it, to help me be sure. He went on psychology, he said, to give himself an edge in court. Prosecutor Blackwell's fort. His infamous power suggestion technique. He's oddly serious about it, rather than a teacher-student relationship. He treated him like a loyal samurai would treat his sovereign. Seems more like a lost soul than a dignified samurai to me. He even got along with that miserable... Her name is Athena, Aura. Get that right. Why do you call her Athena the princess anyway? Minister daughter, after all, although she's nothing like her. Besides, doesn't Celestial Princess always have lots of white knights hanging around? Now that I think about it, now I think I see why Athena didn't say anything when we ran into Aura yesterday. It all makes sense now. So the culprit behind the two cases could be the same, huh? That settles it then. What does it settle? Oh, I think it is my business because I'm the one who's working the fucking case! Aura, you're starting to piss me off. As long as I need to, because I'm gonna find the damn evidence to solve this case. Fine. What a way to get shown out. Oh, I can definitely tell where she gets that nasty attitude. That's just how she is. How's Apollo going with her? Guess it's because they have something in common. Apollo lost Clay just like how Aura lost Dr. Sykes. It's not himself at all. I don't blame him. It's usually not all cool and dark and mysterious like that. Guess that's true. Trucy, come back. She's gone. What should I do now? Inspector Fulbright is probably still questioning Athena. So we'll go back to the office alone. house never felt so empty. Said, so I've been here at the office all by myself in a long time. When I first became a lawyer, my mentor was here with me. Then for a while after that, she was always by my side. Now I'm getting all sentimental. I must be tired. Huh? Something on the floor. What's Leonard doing here? Oh my god. Right somewhere, you're holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. Must be really something, although weird is par for the course with you. Maya! I think she or whatever paper she's reading is so off on the details. I think it was in the middle of a difficult part of my training. I said, think of me as you watch those 6 on my videos. Showing Maya Fey! Good old Maya. It's as if she knew I was feeling down and needed a lift. Maya was my assistant for quite a while. Believe it or not, she's a spirit medium. Magatama I use on Cyclops. Maya is the one who gave it to me. But I wonder how this letter got here. Pearl! Oh my god. Pearl is Mia's younger sister. Now, one thing I should mention, for any of you who have not played the Phoenix Wright games or have not seen my streams of the Phoenix Wright games, Maya's older sister, Mia, was murdered in the original Phoenix Wright game. Maya was also nearly killed by easily one of the most evil characters in gaming history, a horrible psycho bitch by the name of Dahlia Hawthorne. What she wanted to do, aside from basically trying to do basically have everything to herself, actually I should say, Dahlia's mother wanted to basically take over the family and become the head spirit medium. If you want to know more, watch my stream of Phoenix Wright do Trials and Tribulations. You'll find out more about Dahlia Hawthorne. This is Pearl Faye, though I call her Pearls. She is Maya's cousin, I should say. She is Maya's cousin, who was also a spirit medium. A very talented one at that. I known her since she was 8 years old. But Apollo and Athena also met her a few months ago. You didn't come all this way just to bring me a letter, did you, Pearl? She's even further off on the details than Maya. Wish we could take her out to eat or something, Pearl. There's a lot going on. Wow. Yeah, 17 now. Spirit medium in training. Our psychic powers are beyond question. Menace Sykes. Athena's mother, a victim of the murder 7 years ago. She was a talented psychologist like her daughter. Postscript. Many have been too busy to clean or take care of the office. So Pearl, since she would come help you, is she sweet? Thank her. Ah, so that's what you're doing here. So nice of you, Pearl. Maya and Pearls. Thanks to these two. Starting to feel a little bit better. Thank you, girls. I need to talk to Prosecutor Blackwell. I want to know more about his case. With the trial still going on, they must be holding him down at the detention center. Everyone, I'm done for now. I'll most likely be getting back to Phoenix Wright most likely tomorrow. Now, like I mentioned before, next week, most likely not gonna be able to do a lot of gaming. So it's medical stuff. If I do get a chance, I'll most likely be getting back to this case. If I don't finish it by the end of this week. I might also get back to some Rocket League as well. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, everyone, this has been a Sailor of Terror Death 99, aka the Black Cobra. I will catch you all tomorrow.